conversation between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin is coming at a very, very crucial time in world affairs. India's National Security Advisor Doval has been there in Moscow for the last couple of days. This conversation is extremely important, and on the other hand, India is also facing tariffs of 50% by America. This conversation to me shows that a new world matrix is under construction. A new world order is under construction. This conversation between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin is coming at a very, very crucial time in world affairs. The timing was not any ordinary timing. India's National Security Advisor Doval has been there in Moscow for the last couple of days. He's had background level meetings with President Putin and his officials, I would assume. And also, today is the deadline for Russia imposed by America to come up with a peace plan or to cease its conflict with Ukraine. In the background of this conversation is extremely important, and on the other hand, India is also facing tariffs of 50% by America, to which the government of India is standing up and saying that we will take decisions only in our sole national interest. Therefore, this conversation to me shows that a new world matrix is under construction. A new world order is under construction. And right now the conversations between world leaders at such critical timings are extremely important. Also, this I think gives a leverage to Putin that if his relations with India are even on a more solid footing, then he can negotiate with even more strength with Trump versus today's deadline. On the other hand, it gives us also leverage, and we show to the world that we have a strong and committed partner in Russia for whatever our needs or some of our needs. So India is charting its own independent foreign policy. Russia is charting its own. This new world matrix is under construction. And as Prime Minister Modi mentioned to Putin, that in this new world matrix which is under construction, the main software which should be in the world should be Geo or Jeene Do, to live and let live. This is not the era of wars, this is the era to live and let live. That has been India's consistent message to any conflicts across the world as of today. And I think we have again reiterated it. And if needed sometime, we have good relations with Russia, deep relations, even more wider and more trusting now after I think this episode with America. So if there is a need of an honest broker, I think America could do very well to use the good offices of India in its conversations with President Putin.
Sir, the Prime Minister invited President Putin to India later this year for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit. How do you see the visit of Putin here?
See, on the one hand, when the whole world, by the whole world I mean not the whole world but only the West, at a time when the West, the US and Europe are completely boycotting Russia and President Putin, at this juncture, for India to continue with its tradition, we have a bilateral with Russia which happens one year in India, the other year in Russia. This year it's India's turn to host this bilateral, comprehensive, strategic, whichever dialogue, and by inviting Putin, what Prime Minister Modi and India is signaling to the world is that our relationships, our foreign policy will continue on its own path of our own national interest. We will not be influenced by the wars of the West, which they want to impose upon us their conditions.